Hello everyone, my name is Wadan and I'm a data science and business analytics intern at Spark Foundation. Today I'm going to present task 1, that is predicting percentage of a student based on numbers of study hours. So we have to predict the percentage of student based on the given dataset that is given to us by the Spark Foundation, and we have to use a simple linear regression algorithm using Python. Uh, so I have done a little bit steps of it, which is very simple. So in the first step, I have imported all the libraries, all the basic libraries, which are pandas, numpy, matplotlib, sklearn, as well as seaborn. So in the first step, I have imported all the libraries, and then I have removed some warnings that can prevent some future warnings, and then I have load the dataset, loading and reading the dataset. So this is how we load the dataset and read it. So in this case, I have displayed the first 5 elements or objects of the dataset, and then I have checked the shape of the dataset that we conclude by df.shape, which is DataFrame. So DataFrame.shape, and this shows that we have 25 rows and 2 columns. What are the 2 columns? So they are hours and scores. We have these 2 columns. Now I have checked all the null values in this dataset, that as that dataset contains some null values, so that we can deal with them accordingly. So as we can see that there are 0 null values in the hours in the hours column, and we have 0 elements or 0 null values in the score column. So we have no problem in this dataset, so we can deal with them, and we can move to the next step. So then I have analyzed some statistics about it that we can conclude, or we can find about through df.info method. So we can see that the first column is hours, which contain 25 non-null values, and its data type is float 64. Then there is a second column by name of scores, which also contain 25 non-null values, and its data type is int 64. So we can see that there are no null values in this case, and both are integers. So there is no categorical values in this case, which is a simple task of supervised machine learning. So let's move toward the next step. Then I have also described some of the statistic about it, that what is the minimum value of hours that we can or somebody or a student can study. The minimum hours, the dataset contain 1 hours or some points above in 1 hours, and they got 17% score who studied 1 hour on average basis. So the minimum is 1 hour, and they got 17% score, and the maximum is 9 plus hours. It means that 9 hours and 15 minutes or something like that, and they got 95% score who studied more than 9 hours. Then we can see that there is an average, that the persons or the students who studied 5 hours, they got 51% in their exam or in their whatever. So these are some of the details that we have studied or we have seen in this. Now we can see that I have described df.columns, which shows that our dataset contains 2 columns. One is hours and another is scores. Now I have visualized it, so the basic visualization, which we have seen the comparison between number of hours of studies and the percentage they got or the scores they got. So as we can see that as the number of hours increases there, then the score is also increased accordingly, and you can see there that the maximum score is got by 8.9 hours which is approximately 95. So this is the basic visualization of this dataset, and I have also visualized it through line plot. You can see there, this is the simple matplotlib code of line plot, which shows that our graphs increases accordingly when our score increases, when the studies or the number of hours of studies increases accordingly. So then the score or percentage increases accordingly. Now what we have to do, we have to train our model. So for this purpose we have to split our dataset, and we have to split our dataset into two parts, which is input variables are input columns and output columns. So I have split it there. I have dropped the score column, which is the output column, from the input column, and then I have this put this output column in the y variable. So now we use a simple method of train test split, which is a module given by Sckit-Learn, and it's a very beautiful or best module that can split our data accordingly. And I have put the test size 20%, which means that our training data will be 80% and our testing data will be split into 20%. And I have put the random state into 2 equal to 2 because as we use this code or this line of code again, so the data which this train test split has chosen will be will remain the same if our random state is given there. But if we haven't there a random state, then the data the next time they choose will be different from the previous one, so we can get different result accordingly. Therefore we choose random state. Let's move toward the next step. As you can see that the shape of X train is 20 by 1, which means that it contains 20 rows and 1 column, and Y train is 20, which means that the Y variable or the output variable of training data also contain 20 rows. And same is that for testing data, which is 20% of the whole data set, which is 5 into 1. So let's move to another step and apply a linear regression model. So I have choose their model equal to linear regression, and by applying we write their model.fit and input variable and output variable. So I have applied there the model, and I have trained the model. I have checked the accuracy of training dataset, that is 94%. Now I have checked the accuracy on testing data, that what the result we get on the testing data, that I have choose 20%. So I got 97%, which is a very good performance of the data of the model. Now the question there was given by Spark Foundation, that what should be the predicted score or the percentage if a student study for 9.25%. If a student study for 9.25 hours, then what should be the predicted answer or the score of a student? So when I gave this data of 9.25 and I have reshaped it so that we can get accurate result, then I got the predicted answer is 92.90% score. So the student which studies for 9.25 hours is going to get 92.90% of the score in his exam or in his papers. So this is the predicted model that we have choose, and this was a simple task by Spark internship programs, and this was the first task that I performed, and it was a very beautiful task, and I got very much learning from it. And you can see that there is a very beautiful performance from it, and we can predict the score of students accordingly. Thank you so much.